of the Conference on Disarmament. Russia consistently puts forward initiatives on other issues requiring concerted action. Today, 20 years after the atrocious terrorist acts in New York, President Putin's call to form a broad anti-terrorist coalition without double standards on the basis of international law is more relevant than ever. We are awaiting a response to the Russian initiative to elaborate a convention on the suppression of acts of chemical and biological terrorism. One can only make progress in resolving regional conflicts by acting on the basis of international law, by involving all stakeholders. In Afghanistan, Syria, Libya, Yemen, and in other hotspots, all external actors have to show an understanding of the cultural and civilizational specifics of society, rejecting politicization of humanitarian assistance, and assisting the creation of broadly representative bodies of authority that would involve all major ethnic, religious, and political forces of the relevant countries. Guided by such an approach, Russia has been constructively engaged in the promotion of the Afghan settlement via the extended Troika and the Moscow format. It has been contributing to stabilizing the situation in Syria within the framework of the Astana process and has been working with all Libyan parties to implement political reforms. The processes underway in the Middle East should not sideline the task of reaching a sustainable Palestinian-Israeli settlement within the universally recognized international legal framework, providing for the creation of an independent and viable Palestinian state coexisting in peace with Israel. We advocate for the relaunch of direct negotiations between Israelis and Palestinians, for galvanizing the role of the Quartet of International Mediators in coordination with the League of Arab States. Russia continues to contribute to the normalization of relations between Iran and its Arab neighbors. Together with our partners, we seek the soonest possible resumption of a full implementation of the JCPOA on settling the situation around the Iranian nuclear program. A holistic approach is required to stabilize the entire region in the long term. This is the objective of the updated Russian concept of collective security in the Persian Gulf that has been recently circulated as a Security Council and General Assembly document. In the context of searching for ways to overcome regional crises, we are ready to share Russia's unique experience of peaceful coexistence of different civilizations, religions, and cultures. We expect the World Conference on Intercultural and Interfaith Dialogue that will take place in St. Petersburg in May, 16th to 18th of May 2022 to produce substantial results. The conference enjoys the support of the UN Secretary General and the leadership of the Inter-Parliamentary Union. Today, the significance of humanitarian, socio-economic and environmental dimensions of UN work is burgeoning. It is essential to avoid the temptation to turn these spheres into yet another arena for geopolitical games and unfair competition. COVID-19 is our common enemy. It is in the interests of prompt lifting of restrictions on international travel. We support mutual recognition of vaccines that have been approved by national oversight bodies. It is vitally important not to cease efforts aimed at implementing the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. We reckon that the decisions adopted at the recent UN Food Systems Summit will promote the achievement of the SDGs. We stand for strengthening the central role of the United Nations in building the agenda for environmental protection on the basis of equality and respect for each other's interests, including due account given to socio-economic realia. Otherwise, it would be hard to mobilize all states towards reaching global climate goals. The work of all mechanisms that can impact the efficiency of the global governments should be tuned to searching for a balance of interests. The capacity of such an inclusive association as the G20, which brings together the old and the new, dynamically developing global centres such as BRICS and the like-minded others, should be used to its maximum too. It was with great interest that we heard of the Global Development Initiative proposed by President of China, Xi Jinping, that resonates with our own approaches. Russia, together with its partners and allies, supports strengthening a mutually reinforcing network of alliances through developing integrative processes within the CIS, AEU, CSTO, and the SCO. The initiative of President Vladimir Putin to create a greater Eurasian partnership that should also engage ASEAN, the key actor defining the norms of behaviour in Asia Pacific, is also positive. In general, the regional dimension of the world's development is gaining momentum. Much will depend on whether we prove able to rechannel the growing rivalry between regions onto a constructive track. Who is more important? Europe or Asia, the Indian or the Pacific Ocean? Is a Latin American European Union going to be established? Why make Africa an arena for confrontation? The UN Charter has Chapter 8, which is dedicated to relations with regional organisations. Based on it, the Secretary-General annually brings such organisations together to host an exchange of opinions on issues of global politics. We believe it to be very useful to make the next step in this format and use it to draft some proposals of how to regional aspirations in order to give maximum broad and effective global responses to the challenges of our time. We're all in the same boat. It falls within our shared interests to make sure that the boat stays safely afloat on the waves of global politics. We're all different, but this must not bar us from working for the benefit of our nations and the entire humanity itself. It is the only way that we may be able to fulfil the honourable mission of the United Nations, save this generation from the scourge of war and succeeding generations too, from war, hunger and disease, build a more peaceful, stable and democratic future for all. In conclusion, let me propose a hashtag. UN Charter is our rules. Thank you for your attention.
I thank the Foreign Minister of the Russian Federation for his statement. We have heard the last speaker in the general debate for this meeting. The 15th plenary meeting to continue with the general debate will begin at 3 p.m. The meeting is adjourned.